Ricochet versus Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship is officially confirmed for the AEW Dynamite 5th Anniversary Special. Jeff Jarrett calls out Hangman Adam Page. Swerve Strickland's return possibly has been spoiled for the upcoming AEW Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. Jon Moxley smashes Isaiah Cassidy's hand with a hammer on Dynamite. Janelle Grant hires a high-profile PR firm ahead of Vince McMahon's Netflix documentary series. We've got the ratings for Tuesday's edition of WWE NXT, a contract update on current Ring of Honor World Tag Team and Six-Man Tag Team Champion Dustin Rhodes. Nigel McGuinness weighs up the possibility of a full-time AEW run after his upcoming match against Bryan Danielson at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. Joe Hendry files trademark multiple terms. A big 10-man tag team match is confirmed for AEW Collision this week. Plus, Mina Shirakawa is on her way back to AEW. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with an announcement regarding an AEW International Championship match. A big match that many have been waiting for ever since he debuted in All Elite Wrestling. That being Ricochet versus Will Ospreay. Now, while many AEW talents are getting ready for title matches and opportunities at the company's Grand Slam special on next week's edition of AEW Dynamite, new signee Ricochet is gearing up to take on international champion Will Ospreay at the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on October 2nd. Ricochet confronted Ospreay backstage after his victory over the Beast Mortos and before Ospreay's trios match alongside Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita. Ricochet told Ospreay that he's been thinking a lot about what the champion had told him to get his wins up, which Ricochet said he has done. He said it seems like everyone in AEW is trying to prove they're better than Ricochet, but he hasn't seen anyone calling out Ospreay like they're calling out him. Ricochet said he'd do the honors and wish Ospreay well in his match with Fletcher against the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championships next week, but said he talked to AEW President Tony Khan and got a match for the International Championship the following week. Of course, Ospreay and Ricochet have a rich history, having competed in 9 singles matches against each other previously. Per cage match, Ospreay has won 5 of those matches, Ricochet 4, including their famous/notorious match at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Best of the Super Juniors in 2016. Their match at Dynamite's anniversary show in Pittsburgh will be their first meeting since 2017. Now, we've seen this rivalry between the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett, and Hangman Adam Page build up over several weeks, and this time it's led to a brawl on AEW Dynamite. On the September 18th edition of AEW Dynamite, Hangman Adam Page continued to go down a dark path as he cornered Tony Schiavone in the ring after questioning his support of Swerve Strickland. Before Page could do anything to Schiavone, Jeff Jarrett hit the ring to make the save. Page took control of the brawl briefly before setting up a buckshot lariat. Security quickly separated both men, preventing Page from hitting the move. Jarrett then took the microphone and said that he will not likely Page lay one finger on Tony Schiavone. Jeff Jarrett continued on by making a bold statement saying that he will somehow find a way to kick Page's ass, even if it's the last thing he ever does in his wrestling career. Now, speaking of Swerve Strickland, we may have an update as to when he's set to return to AEW television. Now, Swerve featured in the main event of All Out in Chicago, where he and Hangman Adam Page headlined in a brutal lights-out steel cage match. Page was victorious in the bout, knocking out Strickland with a vicious chair shot to the head. Following the show, it was reported that Swerve's defeat served as a way to write him off AEW television, with him expected to take time off after signing his new contract with the promotion. However, AEW's next pay-per-view event, Wrestle Dream, is set to take place in Swerve's hometown of Tacoma, Washington, and it turns out he may be set for the event. The show became available to order on Triller TV yesterday for international fans, including a new poster for the event which prominently features Swerve, as well as Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Mercedes Moné. Of course, if we get any more details on his return to AEW, we shall let you know. Now, Jon Moxley continued his brutal path of destruction, but first, a title match was set for AEW Grand Slam. Now, Jon Moxley said he wants Wheeler Yuta to do the right thing. On the September 18th edition of AEW Dynamite, Pac and Claudio Castagnoli questioned Wheeler Yuta for not speaking to them since AEW All Out. After Castagnoli expressed his disappointment in Yuta, Jon Moxley took the reins and pleaded with Yuta to do the right thing. Moxley then questioned Yuta and asked him to look in the mirror and ask himself what kind of man did they teach him to be. Yuta went on to respond, stating that he was very conflicted by recent events. Yuta then said he learned from Bryan Danielson to not change who he is based on others changing around him. Yuta went on to say that he's a fighting champion and that he'll gladly kick somebody's ass at Grand Slam. In the next segment, Private Party accepted the challenge for Grand Slam, noting that they'll find a partner, but it wasn't a very good night for Private Party. On the September 18th edition of AEW Dynamite, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn agreed to find a partner, as I mentioned, to challenge Pac, Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli for the AEW World Trios Championships at Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium. During the challenge, Cassidy also called out Jon Moxley. Later on in the show, Cassidy and Quinn attempted to jump Moxley, Pac and Castagnoli while they were making their way to the ring for a live segment. This didn't end well for Cassidy specifically, as Moxley began to run him down about being stagnant in AEW. Moxley then did the unthinkable and smashed Cassidy's hand with a hammer while Castagnoli was holding him down. Of course, if we get any more details on a medical update, we shall let you know. Now, the latest development and turn when it comes to the Janelle Grant lawsuit against Vince McMahon this time involves the hiring of a high-profile PR firm. As the September 25th release date of Netflix's Mr. McMahon documentary nears, the legal team representing Janelle Grant has decided to bring on a PR expert to help handle the likely questions that will be directed toward Janelle Grant, who accused McMahon of sexual assault, harassment, and trafficking during her 2 years in the former WWE chairman's employ. Kendra Barkoff of the PR firm SKDK was announced as Grant's representative in a press release on Wednesday. Quote, SKDK has a proven track record of uplifting survivors of sexual violence and human trafficking. We look forward to our partnership in seeking justice on behalf of our client Janelle Grant. And Callis, attorney for Miss Grant, wrote in a statement, a former press secretary for President Joseph Biden. Lammy has represented victims of disgraced producer Harvey Weinstein, as well as ex-employees of the NFL franchise formerly known as the Washington Redskins. Quote, honored to be helping Janelle Grant as she courageously seeks the justice she so deserves against Vince McMahon and WWE, Lammy wrote in a post on X following the announcement. Lammy and Callis will be part of a virtual press conference on Thursday, which will supposedly provide background details on the abuse and harassment that Grant allegedly suffered at the hands of McMahon and former head of WWE Talent Relations John Laurinaitis. A stay was granted in Grant's case earlier this year as the federal government is looking into Grant's allegations of abuse and trafficking. Grant recently filed a motion to receive medical records from her and McMahon's physician at the time. Now let's talk about the ratings for Tuesday's edition of NXT on USA Network, one of the final episodes on the network before moving to the CW at the beginning of October. Time has grown short for NXT on USA Network as the program is only one episode away from making their big move to the CW on October 2nd. Now that doesn't mean they're holding back on their final few USA shows, however, and this week's NXT showed how serious WWE was at trying to draw a number, with CM Punk making 2 notable appearances throughout the 2-hour broadcast. On the whole, it appeared to work. WrestleNomics and Programming Insider report that NXT's penultimate episode on USA drew 677,000 total viewers and a 0.21 in the ever-important 18 to 49 demographic. Both numbers were solidly up from last week, with total viewership rising 8% from 628,000, while the 18-49 was up 11% from a 0.19. The show also grew against the 4-week average, with total viewership also up 8%, while the 18-49 was up 24% from a 0.17. If there was any issue with the NXT rating, it was a bit of a decline year over year. The average total viewership for Q3 2024 was down 11% from Q3 2023 701,000, while September 2024 was down 13% from 2023's 746,000. The 18-49 was also down year over year, with Q3 2024 falling 10% from Q3 2023's 0.20, while September 2024 was also down 10% from September 2023's 0.21. The decline likely points towards more the strength of NXT 1 year ago, when former WWE superstar Becky Lynch was frequently appearing as the NXT Women's Champion. Now, in town ahead of his scheduled NXT appearance on the CW premiere, Punk made his presence known, speaking with Roxanne Perez in the ring and getting in between her and upcoming challenger Julia. Punk was even more integral in the proceedings between NXT champion Ethan Page and challenger Trick Williams, revealing he would be the special guest referee for their upcoming match. A bit of an update here when it comes to the future of Dustin Rhodes in both AEW and Ring of Honor. Of course, Dustin Rhodes is a double champion in Ring of Honor, but his future isn't set in stone. Last year, Fightful Select reported that Dustin Rhodes' AEW contract runs through September 2024. With him winning numerous championships in Ring of Honor, many had assumed that had changed. However, as of AEW All Out, Fightful Select have confirmed that his deal with the company is still up in the fall. Dustin Rhodes has been with AEW since their first show in 2019. In that time, his brother Cody defected and went on to WWE, where he became WWE champion and main evented 3 nights of WrestleMania. Dustin is the current Ring of Honor tag team and 6-man tag team champion and has been an integral figure on the show in the last couple of months. Rhodes also contributes with the women's division behind the scenes. Now, speaking of former Ring of Honor champions, Nigel McGuinness is making his return to the ring for the second time next week at AEW Grand Slam. Next week during AEW Grand Slam, Nigel McGuinness set to wrestle his first singles match in 15 years with the match against Bryan Danielson. Speaking with TV Insider, the AEW Collision commentator addressed the possibility of continuing to wrestle beyond his match against Danielson. For now, McGuinness is taking a wait-and-see approach. Quote, "I'm not going to rule it out," McGuinness said. "We'll see how the match goes. If Bryan is able to compete, as he is legitimately pretty banged up, hopefully it comes to fruition. I think we'll see how things play out after that." Though McGuinness doesn't seem certain that his match against Danielson will take place as scheduled, the wrestler does have an air of hope about him regarding the future. The former Ring of Honor World Champion said he felt fantastic following his return at AEW All In last month, and he has every confidence that will carry over into singles action. Quote, "I've had 18 months to prepare both mentally and physically," McGuinness continued. "I just feel I'm ready to go. Once I'm out there, there is a legitimate emotion that comes with standing across the ring with Bryan Danielson, given his level of success and story compared to mine. If he doesn't wrestle after next week, McGuinness will be satisfied." The 48-year-old referred to Danielson as the last piece of unfinished business from his in-ring career, with one possible exception. McGuinness retired without reaching the highest levels of the industry, and a final run with AEW could be just what he needs to feel reassured that he achieved his dreams. However, for now, McGuinness is focused on proving that Danielson is not the best wrestler in the world. Now, a bit of an update here when it comes to Joe Hendry and possibly his future. Say his name and he appears. Such is the lesson for the United States Trademark and Patent Office that they're learning about TNA star Joe Hendry. Hendry has filed multiple trademarks recently for his ring name, "I Believe in Joe Hendry," and "Say his name and he appears" with the trademark office. Hendry has been a mainstay of TNA wrestling for a few years and has achieved breakout success in WWE NXT since WWE and TNA began cooperating earlier this year. Hendry even main evented WWE NXT's No Mercy event, facing NXT champion Ethan Page in an unsuccessful title challenge. Hendry has reportedly impressed WWE officials with his showing in NXT. There is no contract issue between TNA and Hendry, and he's likely locking down his luxury catchphrases now that they've swiftly become a significant part of WWE programming. The NXT audience was taken by Hendry seemingly from the jump, with officials impressed by the reaction to his debut earlier this year. Along with Hendry, former TNA Tag Team Champions The Rascals have been heavily featured, with their former compatriot Wes Lee, who is seemingly taking his former friends out one by one on his route to his Chicago street fight against Zachary Wentz. TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordan Grace has also been featured. Not only has she faced NXT champions like Hendry has in the men's division, she's also defended her TNA Knockouts title in matches on WWE programming. Former TNA Knockouts champion Rosemary has also been featured on NXT alongside Wendy Chu. Now, a big tag team match has been confirmed for this weekend's edition of AEW Collision. Now, after FTR had a fun in-ring moment on Collision with the Outrunners, the unique tag team pairing is joining up once again. Hook, FTR, and the Outrunners are set for a 10-man tag team match against the Beast Mortos, Grizzled Young Veterans, Roosh, and Roderick Strong on AEW Collision this week. Of note, FTR and the Outrunners are collectively billed as FTR Runners on the graphic, officially ushering in their new moniker as a 4-man team. And finally, Mina Shirakawa is coming back to AEW. Mariah May has been wanting Mina Shirakawa, saying she can't have her AEW Women's title celebration without her. On Wednesday's AEW Dynamite, Mina said that she hasn't heard from Mariah in months and now says she wants her. Mina said that Mariah has changed and she doesn't know if she likes what Mariah has come, but she still misses Mariah. Mina said that if Mariah wants to celebrate and if she wants Mina, then get ready because Mina is coming. Now, as far as the future, the more immediate future for Mariah May, she'll be defending her AEW Women's World Championship at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam on the September 18th edition of AEW Dynamite. AEW Women's World Champion Mariah May and Serena Deeb face Yuka Sakazaki, and Queen Aminata may hit Sakazaki with her title, so Sakazaki and Aminata won a match via disqualification. In a digital exclusive, Mariah May called out Sakazaki and challenged her to face her at Grand Slam. She did not specify whether the match would take place on Dynamite or Collision. Tony Khan later confirmed the match for Dynamite Grand Slam, and the title will be on the line. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.